You guys, it's an emergency! Emergency book haul! Hello and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. If this is something you end up enjoying, you never know, it could happen. Well, I know I already did a book haul video this month. Things were stacking up, but then I had a couple trips to Denver and they have way more used bookstores than I have. So I went to Thrifton and I learned what a second in Charles is or something like that. But it was, I found way more than this, let's be honest, and this is what I was able to narrow it down to, okay? So anyway, let's jump into it. First things first, I've been collecting these for my kids. They've been actually absolutely blazing through this series, but the problem is they've been blazing through this series on my Kindle, and so I keep borrowing the book from the library, and then one kid will read through the whole series, and so they have my Kindle for, honestly, it's actually pretty quick the way they're blazing through these. But anyway, it's the Ranger's Apprentice series. And so I figured, let's collect these, then they can read the actual books, get them to be fans of just the paperbacks. I know everybody, Kindles are so cool and all that, and they're so convenient and easy to use, and you could sync them with your phone and your computer and all these things, blah, blah, blah. And you could fit like hundreds of them to go on vacation with you. But they still, despite all their advantages, they still are second in my book to actual physical copies. So anyway, I grabbed 3, 4, 5, and 7 because I already had 6 and 8, but it turns out I also already had 5. This is what happens. This is how you know you have too many books, when you start rebuying books on accident. Or you're just old. So one of the two is happening here. Or not both, that's for sure. But anyway, I did read the first of these. That's all I could keep up with for my kids. And it's excellent. It's absolutely a blast. But anyway, so we have more of these. There's still not even, I think there's like 11 in the main series. And then there's like side series of like a trilogy and then 6 or something. And then probably some more. So anyway, it's a good series though. Speaking of buying for my kids, but also for me, let's be honest, I'm woefully behind, but I finally found these at used bookstores, so I was like, and I think actually some are new, but I grabbed them because these are the next that I needed. But it's all these collections or omnibus versions, whatever you want to call it, but of 3 volumes of one piece at a time. So 10, 11, 12, this is, so I already have up 1 through 9, and so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I didn't even have to look at the book that time. 19, 20, and 21. I don't know what's gotten into me. So anyway, these are just fun. They're absolutely a blast, and I'm going to get past, apparently, East Blue finally, so we're going to do that someday. I do plan on reading them. They are a lot of fun, and it is fun to share with my kiddos, so that is one. But it does get pretty violent, right? But I'm excited. I'm excited to read some more. And then I'll be up to date so I can watch the show when it's back on. Another one for the kids, but again, probably for me. Somebody, is it Daniel Green might have been talking about Garth Nix. But anyway, I did see this. It was super cheap. It was like $1. So now I have it. I swear I had a version, and I probably do somewhere. I might have gotten rid of it at some point, but I do think the kiddos are going to like this one, even though I haven't read it either. So I'll read it first, maybe. And then it's hard to keep up when they're like reading like 100 books a year, if not more. When it's the summer hits, they're just like, it's like a book a day. How do you keep up with that? I can't. All right, then getting into the books that I got for myself, I did grab, I've been eyeing these for a while. There's a local used bookstore, but it just hasn't even had, it has like, for like book 2, book 7, so all these just like randoms. So I found these, again, Denver has a lot more options, let's say, than where I live. So I found a ton of Why the Last Man. Stephen King says it's the best graphic novel he's ever read. I don't know how many he's read, but apparently it's the best that he's read. 1, 2, 3, and 5, because that's what they had. But it was a really good deal. So anyway, grabbed a couple of these, and I'm excited to get into the series. Been eyeing it for a while. I know Brian K. Vaughan is, I don't know, it's high value, I've heard, so I understand. All right, this is what happens when I go thrifting, or whatever you want to call it, used book searching. I tend to end up with a lot of Michael Moorcock books for some reason. But first of all, I couldn't resist this. Look at that cover. I love this cover. Once I first saw it, I was like, I know I already own all of the books that are in here, like twice, maybe 3 times actually, because I have 3 of the books I have twice in the like mass market paperbacks, which I understand from the guy I bought these from that they're apparently worth a ton, like at least $30 a piece, if not more. Then I also have the science fiction book club version of the first 3 in hardback, and then this one. So I'm like, but look at this cover. I mean, how do you resist that? It's beautiful. As far as I can tell, it's hard on some books, but I think this is a first edition. It is also a sequel, the 2nd volume of The Dancers at the End of Time, The HoloLands. But I couldn't resist. I don't even have that. Of all of the Michael Moorcock books I have, which are a ton, like stacks, I don't have the first of this, unless I do, and I haven't looked far enough lately. So anyway, I couldn't resist. It's a cool hardcover, although it does have deckled edges, and I just am not a fan of deckled edges. I like being able to search through my book, and they like prevent that a lot, okay? Then I found Gloriana. Seems like one of his longer books, apparently. Over 350 pages. Or The Unfulfilled Queen, Being a Romance by Michael Moorcock. Seems like an Elric type book just because of the artwork, but I don't think it is. I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think it's Elric. I kind of assumed it as much, but anyway, we'll see. Then some kind of just older looking ones. Legends from the End of Time. That looked cool. I believe it's novellas or short stories. It looks like 3 legends from the end of time, and then you've got even some artwork. So anyway, this is actually more expensive than the rest of them, so I don't know, we'll see. The Oak and the Ram. This is Quorum number 5. I think I have a couple Quorum books, but I did not remember if I had the Oak and the Ram, so I erred on the side of caution for a $2 book. Might as well. And then this is a Jarrett Carnelian adventure, The HoloLands, which I'm stupid enough to also just figure out that I already have it because I just bought it in the same trip. But it looked cool both times, okay, in my defense. All right, not quite done. Almost there, though. This is like a huge haul, though. Oh, my gosh. This was one, what got me, so I love Zelazny, Chronicles of Amber. Definitely check out if you haven't. He's got lots of great books and is like a multiple, like, or at least one time Nebula, Hugo Award winner, stuff like that. Wizard World, so it's 2 books in one. The saga of the changeling who became Mad Wand. And what got me was it's the first publication in a single volume. How do you resist that? It's crazy. I'm not crazy, right? Does it prove that I'm crazy, actually? All right, this is one, I've actually read this, Liege Killer by Christopher Hintz. I couldn't find it anywhere, though. When I read it, it was on Kindle, which I love, as I've explained earlier. And it's cool. This is a crazy book. It's like almost like a little Star Warsy. There's like they're not called lightsabers, but it's lightsabers, and it's pretty cool. Earth is a blistered wasteland. The orbital colonies have rebuilt civilization and lived in peace and harmony for more than 200 years. The deadly Paratwa are extinct, only the stuff of children's nightmares. So anyway, it's awesome. It's really cool. So recommended. And we're almost done. A couple more here. Doctor Who. What got me was it's Douglas Adams and James Goss. Looking through it, it's probably more James Goss, but I believe it's the novelization of. So it's the novelization for a version based on Douglas Adams' first draft scripts. Check out BBC's Doctor Who: The Pirate Planet. This is Doctor Who and the Pirate Planet. It's much longer and very different book. So I don't know why we're calling this. So anyway, it's loosely based on Douglas Adams, apparently. But it's not really, apparently, now that I look closer into it. Which I totally did at the time that I got it. Finally, this one's a cool one. This one I've been meaning to read for a while. I've heard great things, but just like super fell under the radar for a lot of people. But Tom Lloyd, this is actually book 3. The Stormcaller is book 1, and I actually already own it. This is book 3. Now I own that, and so somehow I'll find book 2, maybe. Pyre, I don't even think publishes books anymore. Maybe they do. I have a ton of Pyre books from my blogging days. They were really, really nice about sending review copies. They would just constantly send review copies. So I actually have like a load of them. I could show you if you ever want or care to see them. Literally just like they'd barely have like a cover, and then the rest was white. So Pirate was doing good stuff. They were publishing a lot of great authors, and so that is just a cool cover to me. It's a Todd Lockwood cover, so you know it's good value. Anyway, that was my emergency book haul because I did too much book buying while I was away. So thank you so much. What should I read first? Let me know. What should I prioritize? And I'll catch you later. Bye.